Yeah, Namaskar. Good afternoon, everybody. I know that all of you are waiting to receive the awards here. I'm very happy to be here during this Financial Express Healthcare Award ceremony. I think this is the second time that I'm coming here. Last year also I was there for the similar function organized by the same organization. And I'm very lucky that I could listen to few of the speakers. I came a little bit late after before 3 o'clock. So I was going through the schedule throughout the day. Very, very interesting topics have been discussed here about AI, health, transforming healthcare in India, building future-ready ecosystem. And you also have had two senior officers from Health Ministry of Health, Mr. Sroli Singh and Mr. Gopal. I'm sure it must have been really a great experience engaging them with their ideas and thoughts. Now, I've been asked by Mr. Krishna Kumar that I should be speaking on good food, bad food, and why standards matter. So, good, bad, and ugly. So, definitely, yes, you have ugly food also. When people want to eat food, they want to eat good food, certainly. Food which is not safe, it is not food at all. That's what one of the slogans given by Food and Agriculture Organization in Rome. So food which is not good, it's not a food at all. So what is a good food, what is a bad food, and why do you require standards here? So that is the most important aspect, and which I have been asked to speak on. So I will not take much of your time because all of you are waiting to receive the awards now. The food, whatever we produce in the country, we produce. I think we are one of the highest producers of food grains in the world, with more than 139 million tons of rice and 109 million tons of wheat and 40 plus million tons of oil seeds and 27 million tons of pulses, 222 million tons of milk, and we are the second largest exporter of bovine meat in the world. So entire food, whatever it is coming up, whether it is good food or bad food, whatever food that we are eating here, is it safe or not? Whether it is nutritious or not? Whether it is healthy or not? Recently, we have seen some of the pandemics, and 3 months back there was a serious issue in Kashmir where health ministry officials and FSSAI officials went to Kashmir. There was a serious case of pesticides getting into the food, and more than 17 people died in one particular district, Rajouri area. They died, and they went to find out what is the reason for this, and there was pesticides which was there everywhere. It went through wheat, or it went through water, it went through which medium it went through, but it was identified as a pesticide. Similarly, recently, last month, or this month perhaps, in Orissa, again 10 people died, but it affecting more than 2,000 people in 11 panchayats, gram panchayats in Jajpur district in Orissa, where water was contaminated. So food is getting contaminated through extraneous matters, and also through heavy metals, lead, mercury, arsenic, and other things, and pesticides also. Farmers really don't know how to spray the pesticides, and even they know there is something called off-label pesticides and extra utilization of pesticides, over-usage of pesticides. So these are the things which are commonly affecting the quality of the food which comes, right? So we are trying to, FSSAI, try to harmonize all our pesticide levels to some extent with Codex Alimentarius Commission. Internationally, we try to harmonize with them. But even then, when the farmers are getting made aware of the pesticide levels, then sometimes they overshoot and gets into the processing units. And while processing, it is just not possible to find out. There's no checking mechanism or examining the levels of pesticides once biscuits are made or noodles are made or other products are made. So another thing which is coming into our this thing is, heavy metals thing. So very difficult to deal. Wherever there are some, let's say leather tanneries are there, or it seeps into the soil, and through soil it comes into our food. Why do it require standards? The standards, certainly, FSSAI has 22 principal regulations we have brought in. So unless you have standards, the industry cannot keep the cap on this. We have standards for the nutraceuticals, we have standards for pesticides, then we have standards for basmati standards we have set in. Millets, we have standards, 13 millets. Millets, India is the largest producer of millets in the country, and we have set standards for 13 millets, and these millets, again, we have showcased at international level, and now entire world is adopting our millet standards. So these standards we try to amend from point to whenever there is some kind of empirical data coming up, empirical research is coming. So based on this data, we try to put it on the scientific panels, then the scientific committees, and then we give. It's a very democratic setup that we have. We draft, notify, and after that we seek remarks from all the industry and all the stakeholders and the civil society. Then we finalize set standards there. So even then, how much safe food which is getting into us? What kind of nutritional values which are coming? Recently, I was reading one research paper. This is 167 research findings have been compiled in one magazine. It's a journal, medicine journal called Aging Cell. In this Aging Cell medicine journal, there was an article which speaks about how aging can be prolonged. Are we now at the cusp of the discovery of medicine where aging can be prolonged with rapamycin? This rapamycin, usage of rapamycin, it is not yet finalized, but the journal says, this Aging Cell journal says in this article, that rapamycin can definitely alter your age, alter the cell aging, and therefore, prolonging the life. So I think this kind of interventions when happens in the scientific field, certainly our human body also will respond to that, and accordingly the food, the good food and the bad food also will have to commensurate with the changing shape of your cell. And you have seen that how body reacts to nutrition food, and now we are talking about fortification. We also set standards for fortification. We made voluntary, the wheat, milk, and other oils. Fortification is there. More than 140 countries are using fortification, but fortification of rice, we made it mandatory in all the more than 3.5 lakh ration shops, fair price shops in India. Fortified rice is being served. So these are all the issues, which we are talking about, the nutritional aspect. When you talk about nutritional aspect, right from the Anganwadi centers and the midday meal scheme, and the PDS distribution, we are having fortified rice. We need to strengthen whatever ICMR mentioned. ICMR said you should take minimum Indian Council for Medical Research. One RDA. One RDA is that one recommendatory dietary allowance. More than 2,200 calories will have to come into your body. So for working force, 2,500 24 plus 2,450 kilocalories have to come into your body. But how much we are eating, how much we made some calculation, how much a South Indian eats, how much a North Indian eats. It is almost all less than 2,000 kilocalories per day. It is 1,900 to 1,800 kilocalories. An American eats 3,400 plus kilocalories. A Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, they eat more than 3,000. UK also more than 3,000. Many of the countries in Europe, they eat more than 3,000 kilocalories, whereas we eat less than 2,000 kilocalories. But even then, how much protein is getting into this? 55% should go through carbohydrates, whether we are giving 15% through protein, then fats, 30%. 15% is from visible oils, and 15% through fats. So all these guidelines which are issued by National Institute of Nutrition. How many people are following it? Are we overeating it? Are we calculating properly or not? Thanks to social media, thanks to scientists who are coming forthwith and trying to educate all of us about the kilocalories that you're taking, about the food that you're taking, about HFSS, that are high fat, salt, sugars, which you are eating on regularly, how much these Honorable Prime Minister has already mentioned recently about obesity, the problem of growing obesity, and he also said, please reduce your 10% oil, whatever oil that you are having, reduce it by 10%. So I think these are the few points, which we should always keep in mind while eating something on the table. Earlier, there was no birthday celebrations. Now people celebrate with so much of cakes. A lot of bakery items are getting into our body. A lot of baked items are getting into our body. Cooked, manufactured. Let us eat more of a cooked food than processed and ultra-processed food. I'm not saying against any ultra-processed foods thing, but limited. It should be highly limited, but more dependency on cooked food. So with this, I conclude, and I thank Mr. Krishna Kumar and Financial Express for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts. Thank you very much.